guys? Welcome to the episode of Africa Insights. Today in Peteo Rotmani, Mr. Phumlani Makhaya of Soweto home, Mikhaila Bandabadala. And I came here today, I saw some beautiful thing because they were playing some old music for old people, Kumzangin Kadzakdala type of stuff. So I was like bit of impressed about seeing that thing. I would like for us to go to further topics, take us to your story about where you're from, how you grew up, type of stuff. Then we'll go to these topics about the work you do here.
Okay, igama mina Phumlani Makhaya. I'm the center manager here, Soweto Care of the Aged, otherwise known as Soweto Old Age Home, as people know it. Ntwana sekasi man, ngikhulele eJabulani, ngikhulele eZondi, ngikhulele eMndeni, ngikhulele eDeep Kloof, but I'm originally from KZN, in a small village called Impendle. Yeah. So ukuba kwami la first comes from a passion from ukusebenza nabantu abadala. One, mangiqeda matric, there was no plan for further education, so the plan was just find whatever to do, and I found myself ngisebenza kuma NPOs. The love for people basically grew from there, but ukusebenza nabantu abadala comes basically from now a passion that I have acquired in the past few years, wherein ukhuliswa ugogo myself. I mean, njengoba ngisho ngikhulele emalokishini wonke, but lapho bengihlala khona there was always an elderly person. So getting exposure to the type of need yabogogo, specifically when they get to the age your pension, also they start developing a dementia. So I kind of saw how with my own grandmother, we did not understand her, we didn't understand some of the things. I mean, ugogo masekane dementia, ufana nomntana omncane. Uzothola ukuthi ugogo singathi sihleli ka so, ugogo asuke atshele ubhuti ngapha athi hey lo muntu lona unibethile, you like ukubethe nini because sesiloke sihleli kanje antwana. So I got to understand ukuthi no, dementia basically makes umuntu omdala abe ngumntana omncane. Also it means immediately mangabe sekafika ku that stage, anything can happen, especially in our black communities where you find ukuthi ugogo aka-understandeki elokishini. Ugogo just like umntana omncane, ugogo angangena etoilet makaphuma sekazikhohlwe ukuthi ukuphi. And what do people say elokishini mabebona umuntu omdala ongagqokanga? Umthakathi. So izinto bathi ulahlekelwe izingqondo and stuff like that. So you find ukuthi abogogo ama-families anjalo will bring them to an old age home and say, hey, we're not able to take care of umuntu omdala. So for me, it was because of the experience yowami umakhulu, or how we didn't understand what was going on until somebody educated me specifically. Which, remember in the communities as Pumagu, people are not educated about ukuba umuntu omdala kusho ukuthini exactly. So I started looking at my old age home that I could go and volunteer at, and luckily an opportunity came for me to come and work here full time, and fortunately for me it came at a capacity as a center manager. So I kind of have that bit of a passion that's pushing me, but also just the love and the care for abantu abadala. Yeah, sure.
And we'd like to talk about this thing about Abanda Badala and stuff. So being here around these old people and stuff, I get like because like even though like sometimes they have dementia and stuff, but there's a little bit of knowledge they give you because like Bane, they have lived, they have all those things you get from them. How does it feel for you to be around them? Like the things they teach you in some sort of a way. So how does it make you feel, Rodman?
First, I'm gonna share with you the fact that even though I'm a center manager here, I'm still a child. From time to time, dressed in a three-piece suit, Ugogo will come and give me 20 rands and say, "Hambong chenge lisinkwa paya ngaphandle." And unfortunately, you can't say no. And I mean, look, I could easily just go to Omunyum Sebienzi and say, "Listen, I'm watching a Ugogo," but it reminds me, it keeps me grounded. Ugochi, for instance, recently we celebrated a 97-year-old here who, still walking, no walking stick, no crutches, nothing, whatsoever. And she actually said, look, the respect that you give to abantu abadala, you don't know. It's a cliche. It sounds like a cliche when we say, hlonipha abantu abadala insuku zakho zawukwanda, but you actually see it here on a daily basis when you see an 85-year-old who's still walking very without frail. However, for me, on a daily basis, the lessons that I learned from Abogogo is, I mean, ginama former nurses, ginama former doctors. I have a Mr. Mola, I call him the great man. He used to work for one of the biggest publications in the country. So when I need to write proposals, I go to him and I say, Mkulu, ngicela ukuthi ungiproofreadele. And he can understand umuntu omdala will be very rude in saying it. He's like, ubhale ngathi awuna matric apha kwethu. But it just goes to show that the wisdom that you get from abantu abadala, but also the experience that they bestow upon me, also the trust and the unbiased love. Mangenze wrong, they will tell me. But mangenze kahle, they'll be the first ones to come and say, no, you spoke well. And continuously the blessings I get on a daily basis. And I'm not just speaking about myself, I'm speaking about everybody who works here. Because you can imagine, some of us, abanye abakhule bengenabo abogogo, you get to experience gogo for the first time, but also kunama nurse here, they are retired nurses. Kunama teachers here, they are retired teachers and all of that.
Also like a supply, like good education.
A lot, and not even a bit, a lot. Because if you give them that respect, they will actually show you. I believe which this center is run by them more than it's run by me. I mean, I'm just coordinating. But Bona, they're the ones who are running it for themselves. Yeah.
When we came here to put the chairs here, the old lady was like, nah, don't move that side, put the chairs here. Then
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
like, oh, that's
Literally. On a daily basis, you get reminded. But more than anything, I've been here for a year and a half. It's been a grounding experience. It's been lessons upon lessons. Also, to just think ukuthi umuntu omdala just because umuntu omdala kumele ayiswe pha. Sometimes they will remind you, no. Remember, ukuze ufike la, this is why you're here and this is how it's supposed to go.
Like, can you tell us a bit about like the thing? Like you said, you were celebrating a birthday of a 97-year-old. Like age limit here about people who arrive here and other stuff. Like how young or how old people do you take here? Like for example, okay, cool, you have to be 60 something, or you have to be how like the type of people you admit here.
Sure. So here admission is you have to be 60 and above. Some people say 60 to 100. I'm like, no, we don't limit it to 100. If we have somebody who's 110, they'll still be here, provided God hasn't remembered them. So from the ages of 60, unfortunately, at times we do have somebody who's destitute. Destitute in a sense that the community will bring a person who's maybe 59, 58. We can't knock them out just because of age. However, because we are for the community, even though our admission is 60 to 100 plus, we do take from 59 to 60. And I know I'm saying 59 to 60 because if it's somebody who's turning 60 in the next couple of months, we can't lock them out.
I hear. Sure. And it's a very great work here you do, man. And like I'm very, very impressed about what I'm seeing here. Old people just gathered in one place and all that stuff. And I wanted to ask, man, like what are the the activities that they do on a daily basis here? Like the things that you keep them like for example, like exercise and all that stuff. What are the things that you do for them here for them to keep on fit? Because like at the end of the day, they gotta do some things for them to be healthy.
I usually say to people, an old age home is not a place where elderly people come and wait for death. It's a place where they come and be cared for and actually just kick it back and relax in their old age. So we do have activities spanning from Monday to Sunday, literally. Of course, because we've got Abokoko that we call independent. Abokoko by independent is the elderly people who are still able to go outside, participate in whatever activities in the communities. However, we also have gogos that don't have activities ngaphandle. So we have board games. We have church every Tuesday between 11 and 12. So where all the gogos, doesn't matter whether Upuma Zion or Upuma Gupi, they can go into the church and enjoy service. We have a choir practice, so they go practice. We've got a gym. I don't know if you've seen our gym facility. It's a fully fledged gym, so Abokoko can go and gym, but of course under supervision. We do have sewing that we teach them. We do have Chika is our star when it comes to knitting. So she does knitting. Whenever we have events, we sell those, whatever that she makes. She makes beanies, she makes gloves, she makes scarves, she makes all those type of things. So we have that. We also have we call them excursions. We have a partnership with the Soweto Theatre. Every time the Soweto Theatre has a show, because they also need the audience. So we provide the audience. By so doing, we're keeping Abokoko entertained. We also have walks that we do around here. So of course, we have Credo Mutwa around here. We've got Soweto Theatre, we've got ground here. Abokoko can always go and just shoot loop, and it's actually enjoyable for them. We have a library here, but we also have a partnership with the library, Jabavu Library behind us. So Abokoko can always go and just spend time at the library, read. And then we also have some storytelling where we just allow whatever book you are reading, can you share with us? Over and above that, we also just have Abokoko who prefer to be left alone. They're like, hey, listen, whatever, don't bother me so long as you dish up for me, so long as I've eaten, I'm good with that. Yeah. So it's Polela and all that. Yeah.
Okay, Runman, I want to tell about what are the experiences of a cool, for example, some old woman here is going to also drop off umntwana wakhe umzukulwana wakhe. What's the processes, like the feeling there, like okay, cool, she's been felt like she's left alone and all that stuff. Like what are the what is that experience, man, when you gotta meet the person for the first time? Like what does it feel for you and for the people who work around here and for the old person that's arrived?
Look, there's quite a lot of reasons. Reasons spanning from I just got a job in Cape Town, I just got a job, I'm going overseas, or whatever the case may be. But of course, at times it's really the condition Gogo we cannot handle as a family. And so we fear Ugutu Gogo might be a danger to herself, might be a danger to other people around her. Of course, when they bring an elderly person here, we do have an assessment that we do. We make use of his social work services. So we have a social worker who sits in the assessment. We also have a professional nurse who sits in the assessment. During the assessment, we're trying to see, first of all, is Ukoko aware that she's being brought into an old age home? Is Ukoko agreeable to coming into an old age home? Because sometimes you might find a family would come and say, no, Ukoko, we don't have a place for her, only to find that they're actually taking Ukoko away because they want to take in Lukako. So during the process of assessment, we're trying to ascertain the reasons behind why Ukoko is coming to an old age home. A lot of times, of course, Abokoko would be the ones who have said, you know what, I'm going to go old age home. A lot of times. Few incidences where Ukoko would be, of course, if it dementia is, developed so long, you might find Ukoko is not even aware of Ugutugupi. So it's for the best of Ukoko. Of course, we will then have signed an agreement with whoever as a next of kin. Uguti, if anything happens to Ukoko, you will be the one that we call. But also, we then, of course, we need the ID. Ukoko needs to be a South African. Ukoko needs to meet the criteria of age. Ukoko has to bring a medication. We go as far as actually asking for a medication that Ukoko is taking. Because you might find Ukoko will take medication incorrect, or you might find if family it's no Ukoko all right. Only to find when you look at the medication, it says Ukoko might be a psychiatric patient, might be a person with dementia, might have other ailments. Okuguti as who's handler here. So when we do assessment, we're ensuring Uguti all the bases have been covered, but more so, we want to ensure Uguti, is this the best care that Ugogo is going to get? Because we might be an old age home, we might pride ourselves Uguti, Tina we take better care of our Ugogo, only to find Uguti the type of care is not for Ugogo. So yeah.
And I also read this thing on, it was on YouTube about like how to make them feed and stuff. Like this is something I wanted to share with you, Rodman. It's something like they say if you like involve a lot of kids, because my mother is 50 something year old and my brothers have kids, so they in some time they'll bring their children around her and it keeps her fit because she's around young energy and all that stuff. So I was wondering if you do that stuff here to involve like kids and stuff to come and play with the older, because it also helps them to have that care for young people and all that stuff. So do you do that thing to involve like young people for them to play with them?
First, we have here what is called a family day. So on a family day, this is when we invite literally everybody in the family. So pick up at this hall, it's a party type of thing. But of course, during that time, we'll be talking to Abantu Abadala, we'll be talking to families. We might have a speaker who's going to speak to, the love for family and all of that. We might have a speaker who's going to talk to dementia. It's an opportunity for us to educate Abantu Bakaboko. At the same time, we're also trying to say, we don't want Ugogo must end up here. Ugogo, this must be the last resort. We've tried everything else, every avenue we've exhausted. However, in addition to that, I'm glad that you asked the question. We have a partnership with the local primary schools. Our very good friend, Kuku Primary School, just down the road, they usually bring Abokoko. As you see on this stage, they will come here, they will sing, they will act, about drama series, they will do drama as well and all of that. Because we don't want Abokoko to just always be watching TV. We want them to also participate. We also do have local businesses come either. A person who runs a salon will come and offer free haircuts. Some people who do spas will come and do massages and all of that. But in addition to that, like I said, we have what is called Golden Games. Golden Games are an initiative by Department of Social Development. But Abokokobe to participate there. Currently, we have 8 of our members participating in the Golden Games. It's a soccer team, basically, and 8 of those are from this very old age home. Okay. So the social work team, which consists of the social worker, the social auxiliary worker, we also get students from University of Johannesburg who give us a student social worker for a year. we then have a person that we call a skills facilitator. So a skills facilitator's job is to ensure that they invite people who can come and do those type of things, but also just go out there and find out what is available out there in the community. Because of course, sometimes you find that a person runs a business, so they don't have the time to actually come here, but we can always take Abokoko to them. But the skills facilitator on a full-time basis, that's exactly what they do. So what we try to do is we capacitate the skills facilitator to bring those skills back into the institution.
I know. I think like TS Dog, you having me more questions or?
Well, one of all these partners we have, businesses around, schools around, all these partners. I wanted to ask you, since this will be social media for partners, if you would like to invite me to sponsor maybe some places where you live and you should like some assistance.
That was a background guy.
Look, we are an NPO, not for profit organization. So for sure, we really rely on sponsors, donations. Sometimes it's not even donations in a form of an actual finance or an actual item, but it could actually be somebody bringing their skills. For instance, we have partnership with Vets Medical School, so they bring the third year medical students here. They are able to see what we don't see. I might have a bit of a clue, but I'm not a medical person. So a medical person will be able to say, no, how you're storing your medication is not correct, or how you're giving your medication to Abokoko is not correct. So of course, we're always appealing to people to consider. I always have this crazy idea that I want to take Soweto Home to be a brand that brands want to attach themselves to. Instead of us having to go and look for sponsorship, I want sponsors to say, we want to be part of this. And of course, in very small drips and drabs, but it's very positive. Like you have people from Nedbank who have come. We've got a vegetable garden that is 100% sponsored by Nedbank. Of course, that is their project. Whenever they come here, they go straight to the garden, they do whatever. All we want to see is the vegetables coming through. We've got partnership with your UJs, we've got a partnership with other schools that train our caregivers, for instance. So because we don't have enough money to pay people well to keep them, so we also have to go and get skills from outside to bring them in. And through partnerships, that's what we get. Of course, businesses from time to time will go, like if we have an event, we'll invite them to say, a family day, for instance, needs a sponsor ngamanzi, sponsor and all of that. And we've been very fortunate in that people have really been, positive in a way. I have not knocked on any door and not getting a positive response. The only issue is, of course, at times, if you're going to ask for things now, you might get them 6 months from today. Yeah. However, on a daily basis, we have people coming and saying, okay, we just want to know what it is you need. Blankets, we've got plenty. I've got a room full of blankets because we continuously go to people. In terms of food, of course, we go and we ask people, can you give us on our wish list? It's usually food. Perishables are the biggest thing. We have a capacity of 120 old people here. So you can imagine, we cook like we're cooking for a party every day. And of course, it has to be healthy food. It has to be very good standard type of food. So it's unfortunate that we don't actually just take whatever, but we always just send a list of what we would prefer that they give to us, and then we accept whatever that comes through.
Any more questions?
People don't have to offer money or so people, someone watching now, individual, from the organization, they have to come and volunteer and offer their time, assist wherever they can. How can they go about doing that?
So if people go to sowetohome.org.za, they can find, we have a form where you can just put in your information. It goes directly to my email. Of course, again, with the issue of volunteers, sometimes you also have to serve. You have to actually vet who ends up here, because the Older Persons Act has placed us in, or rather they have placed these gogos in our care. So they trust us to actually make sure that we don't have Abogogo being abused. We don't have Abogogo being exposed to. So, of course, if a person goes and puts their information on the form to say, I'm interested in coming and volunteering my time, of course, we'll invite them, we'll interview them, we'll actually look at the skill set that they have that they can bring. Of course, community members are always welcome to come here and ask, what can we do? Sometimes, like you saw today, we had nurses, and nurses were actually cleaning this place. I'm talking about professional health professionals, but they were cleaning the yard because it's something that they felt they could do. Of course, from time to time, we do say no to people, because if we're interviewing a guy who says, no, I want to feed Bokoko, there's a skill. As much as people think it's just feeding an elderly person. If an elderly person chokes and ends up in hospital, the family is going to come and ask, "Ubani bekamfunza?" So we have to always make sure that a person has some skill involved in it. Over and above that, we usually just welcome people. Like you can tell now, I actually have more volunteers than staff here because it's caregivers, it's nurses, it's doctors. They all come and volunteer at a time. From time to time, of course, we need maintenance type of volunteerism.
I think you answered most of the questions that I wanted to ask. I don't know about you, TS, dog. Clarified. Yeah. To so many interviews because, like, I always. Yeah. See what's happening because like we're very impressed and we're very glad that you welcomed us here to come and do this interview. Like it's very heartwarming to see these old people. Like these I call them OGs. Oh my god, these are OGs to see these OGs around here. Like this is a very honor. It's an honor, sir. It's an honor, sir. Thank you so much for allowing us to come here. No problem. Thanks, sir. This is a wrap today for today's episode. We'll show you around a little clip of what was happening around here. We'll take some videos, some few pictures of the garden, the gym, so you guys could see what's happening here. By the way, this Africa Insights, we out.
Ike huna kikenye mto wabona kinali kati ya Soweto ho. So ishotaka
Oh, sakushuta koko, no problem.
ukanza
Sakuzama ngale phone singakushuta koko.
Is your bed made?
No,
it's not.
to the slums of the cottage.
Yeah, she doesn't clean much.
Can you come, sir?
So yeah, sure. So in each of these rooms here, you will have the person because they are independent here. The old lady is allowed to have her own fridge. They are allowed to have a microwave. She's got a small kitchenette. Remember, I said we dish up at 4 for their supper. So she might just take her lunch tin and bring it here. She can in here she can have a microwave and a full-on flat. However, the other cottages, because of issues of dementia and all of that, also you can imagine if you have 4 people sharing. Which TV are we going to watch? What channel are we going to watch? So in here, this is Coco Jakey.
Hey, Coco Jakey.
She lives here for now because of construction, but her room is next door.
Oh, it's next door, okay.
So Sina takes care of this place. So she's the one who ensures that when they come to the gym, they've got eyes. But also if they're sewing, she then assists them with sewing. Whatever that gets sewn here is what we sell. Like I said, if you look at this, this was made here. Yeah. This was made by my dad in the old lady was shouting at you. She makes this.
Talented.
More of this. Every time when we have visitors, like I said, we would put it in and just listen to the word of God without necessarily connotation of joining a particular church. Every Tuesday she doesn't come to church, she will come to church. I'll come back to you.
I don't want to speak to you. I want to speak to this young gentleman. Now, this young man who has come to our home and has single-handedly turned it around into such a happy place for all of us. We have been blessed with this man.
Oh,
I'll
dang.
give you a check later for saying that.
And as one of the gogos says, and he's clean.
Yeah.
Garden. All our vegetables are being grown here, sponsored by the good friends of ours from NetBank. So we grow our own spinach, our own beetroots, our own carrots and everything. So the idea is that here it also helps us to raise funds. So we sell to the community from here also. So on days that we call them market days. So we'll advertise outside like listen, on such a day we'll be having a market day. Then we'll take people come and buy from us here. So this has been one of the greatest achievements of this organization in the past year.